Aloha, beautiful family. Blessed to be tuning in today for a weekly Oracle forecasting reading. It's been a couple of weeks since I've gone live to do one of these, and today I am in beautiful, magical Austin, Texas, and just feeling so blessed to be here. It's nice and humid, which is a nice change of pace for me from the dry Colorado air, and my hair's curling, and I'm just feeling so blessed today. I just recently had a pretty major come up. I got a new computer. I'm streaming from my brand new laptop today, and I've had just a really magical last couple of weeks of reintegration, recalibration. I would say I've been working with some birth energies. I feel like I've been reborn, and I'm really beginning a new chapter right now. And so I wanted to go ahead and do a card reading today to anchor in some of these new energies and to really get myself kind of into that space of grounded awareness as I begin this new chapter and this new phase. So you could say I've just barely busted my wings through the chrysalis, and I'm needing some insight into what's coming up, and hoping also to offer all of you a little insight. So if you're interested in having me pull a card for you today, let me know, and I'd be happy to pull a card specifically for you. I'm going to be doing two different cards today. I'm going to be doing two different decks rather. So I will be pulling a card for the collective from my brand new Isis Oracle deck. And as some of you know, I've been working with a client of mine, Anastar Maka, on an upcoming pilgrimage to Egypt. And I wanted to take this moment to invite all of you to Egypt and say, I'm going to Egypt in 2022 for the 11/11/22 portal. And we'll be going on a 20-day adventure starting October 26th through November 14th of 2022. And I would love to have some of you join our journey and join our trip. So if you're interested in going to Egypt, please reach out to me and I can get you the information on the trip. I would love to have some of my fellow manifestation media, magic workers, and festival production organizers there with us. If going to Egypt is something that calls to you, as it's calling to me right now, I'm hoping that you will reach out. So we're also going to start working with Isis as we head into that experience. And that's why I purchased this deck, because number one, Alana Fairchild is one of my favorite authors, and I read a lot from her Earth Warriors Oracle deck. And so I've been feeling so close to her, and I love her 11/11 her 11/11 Oracle book. She's got several different books and decks out. And so I purchased this deck to kind of help me begin this journey to Egypt, and where we will actually be on the 11/11/22 portal is at the Temple of Isis in Egypt. And so I felt like it was an important time for me to start calling upon her and really working with some of the magic that she has and start to share some of the magic that she has with my community. So we'll pull an Isis card for the collective, and that'll be a single card that is for everyone. And then I also got, at the same time, when I went to purchase this deck, there was a woman in front of me in line, and she was trying to exchange this deck. And I felt like in that moment, I felt like it was actually a sign that I was supposed to buy this deck. And so I ended up helping the woman out and took this deck off of her hands. I fully cleared it of her energy. And so this is the deck that I'll be doing the individual readings today. So if you'd like me to pull a card for you, I'll be pulling from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. I've been loving this deck. It's an amazing asset, and it's perfect little short downloads that can really help you to tune into what's going on for you within the microcosm of what's happening. This week is a powerful energy week. We have a solar eclipse happening. And so one thing to be aware of, when we have solar eclipses, it's kind of like more The world at large is the energies that we're working with. When we have lunar eclipses, it's more of like an inner world. So we are working this week with more global and overarching energies, and it's important to kind of be aware of what's happening for you personally, as well as what's happening for the collective. So I am so excited to drop in, and if you would like me to pull a card for you, let me know in the chat. I would love to pull some cards. It looks like we might have, we've got Emilio. Hi, Emilio. How are you today? Let me know if you want me to pull a card for you. I'm here in beautiful Austin, Texas, and my mom just found this gorgeous owl feather last week, and I asked her if I could use it to do some smudge and just kind of clear the space, clear the energies. I love her she's got this beautiful little fountain, and she tried to set me up doing this card reading in the air conditioning, and I said, no, it wants to happen outside. I saw a hummingbird right over here. That's a hummingbird feeder. I saw a hummingbird earlier, and I kind of took that as a sign that I was supposed to brave the heat, at least for this reading, and do this reading outside, because I really like working with the elements when I do readings, and I really feel like this environment is more conducive to me being kind of able to fully channel. So I see we've got a couple people watching. If you'd like me to pull a card for you, let me know in the chat. I'd love to pull a card for you, and we're going to start off with our card for the collective from the Isis Oracle. So I've pulled from this deck a couple of times, so I've kind of gotten a feel for its energies, but it's still very new to me. And that's really how I would describe this journey I feel like I'm going on right now. I feel like I've got this new computer, I've got this new tour that I'm planning, going to Egypt. And I really feel like I'm just in a completely new space than I was, even just 3 weeks ago. I feel like I've gone through kind of this portal of energy, and that tends to happen during the eclipse seasons, right? So we have these different eclipses, and when we go through eclipses, I like to think of eclipses as they're a time where things that are not serving us anymore begin to become eclipsed from our reality. And so it's kind of a stripping away of what's no longer working for us, so that we can step into more of the energies of what we're really meant to step into. And for me, I go through these times of being more of a hermit. I haven't done a card reading for a couple weeks, and I've been feeling kind of more like in the cocoon, in the chrysalis. And that's a really important thing to notice, is when you're feeling more introspective. And then when you finally feel like, okay, it's time for me to come out again, what is that energy that is pulling you out, kind of signaling to you? And so what I feel for me is that I've been in the cocoon, and I've been kind of working on, well, what's the next phase going to look like for me, and what's important for me heading into the future? What do I really want? And so my intention today with this card reading is to help me to anchor in more of like, what is it that I'm really wanting, and identify what is it that I really want to do next with my creative, direction for myself, and to really help others also with that kind of guiding light type of direction. So it's a little bit loud out here there's like an air conditioner underneath the patio where I'm standing. So I hope you guys can hear me. And if you can hear me, please leave me a chat. I've never actually done a stream on this computer with this microphone that I'm using right now before. So if you can hear me and you can see me, just let me know. That would be amazing. I'm like, I'm not on mute doing this whole thing. So yes, I'm so blessed to have these new cards, and I was charging them up with my crystal right before this. So love to just have, when I travel, I usually bring just like one nice crystal. This is one of my favorites to travel with, and I use it to kind of charge up my space and kind of hold the space. So yay, I see someone saying, I can hear you and see you. It's not showing me your name. I would love to know who just said that. If you will put your name in the comments. If you're in a group and you're commenting in a group, it doesn't show me your name. So I'd love to pull a card for you, and for Emilio, anyone else who's watching, let me know. And right after we do the collective reading, I can pull a card specifically for you. And I love doing individual readings this way. And they've gotten kind of fewer and far between. You know, I've decided to kind of step away from that weekly schedule because I like to do these more in flow with my natural rhythm, and like, when do I feel like it's my time to do this, as opposed to like every week on Monday, I have to do it at the same time. I noticed that after a while, that kind of just felt unorganic and I felt like uninspired. And so I started just doing these kind of randomly. So I appreciate those for those of you who are watching and playing along with my natural organic flow. And I think I'm ready. I've got these pretty well shuffled, and I'm just going to cut the cards. So with Isis, I really feel like the number 11 is 1, 2, 3. I'm going to shuffle, like cut it 11 times. So I did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and number 11. And then I'm going to just ask the top card, is this our card? And I am getting that this is the one for us for now. So what this card says is the brother in darkness. And it says overcoming negative energies with feminine power. So super powerful card to pull as our first card from this particular deck. I've ever done a live stream with this particular deck before, but I love that image. We've got Isis, see, she's at the top. And then we have some sort of more masculine god. I'm not, and you've got to forgive me, I'm not I don't know who all the gods are, but maybe we'll do a deeper reading on this and it might tell us who we're actually looking at on this particular card. But I would say at first glance, we're really working with like what looks like kind of a negative or heavy dark energy. But also looking at how feminine power can really bring us to an overcoming space. So let's dive into this card and see what the brother in darkness has for us in terms of a deeper reading. And we'll see here. I don't know where everything is in this book yet. So this is all new for me. It's really fun to have a new deck and to kind of be sharing that experience of exploring a new deck with everyone. So let's see here. Brother in darkness, the brother in darkness. Okay, so 189. So we're going to dive into this card and see what we're going to work with here this week. Okay. Woohoo. Okay, so what it says is overcoming negative energies with feminine power. So it says, whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our divine feminine power. The brother in darkness indicates that there is a negative energy either within you or outside of you, but directed towards you, that is providing you with a spiritual test, beloved initiate. You shall overcome this energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. So, wow, what a powerful little opening to what this card is all about. And I have to say, like, I have felt there's like a heaviness, and I have felt that it's really outside of me. And until this, I didn't think it was directed towards me. But it's sometimes I feel like what it is I'm really open, and I'm like a sponge. I really absorb energies as an empath. And so even energies that aren't necessarily directed towards me, when I go out into the world and it's heavy and negative, I feel it immediately. And then I feel like I sort of internalize it. So it's not necessarily like that you have somebody who's, like trying to, cast a spell against you or something like that. It could be that you're feeling the negative energy and then you're internalizing it and you're actually directing it to your heart yourself by just overthinking it, over kind of analyzing it. And that's initially what I'm kind of taking from this is there's a heaviness, and I'm super sensitive. And so I need to kind of work with overcoming that heavy darkness with my own divine light and divine feminine. So It says there's a test that you are currently moving through because you are ready to progress more deeply into love, wisdom, acceptance, and inner peace. This test is in the guise of a negative energy source, either within you or apparently outside of you. It says, in truth, we are all one, and the world is our mirror for whatever healing task lies within, even though sometimes the source of difficulty appears to be external rather than an opportunity for us to gain mastery within our own responsiveness through our own inner healing. So exactly what I was just talking about. It's like, it appears like this is coming from outside of ourselves, but what it's really about is how do we not internalize and start to really work on healing within ourselves instead of overanalyzing the problem and then creating more problem within ourselves. So that's really what I'm taking from this so far. It's like, this is a test. This is a warrior test. And how are you going to transmute and pull light in and really stand in that truth of who you are and be able to kind of outshine bright within your own heart the darkness that's surrounding you that you're, letting in, right? So this is an important thing for a lot of us right now. A lot of us are surrounded by heavy, heavy energies every day. So let's see what it says. Okay, so guidance comes to you now in this oracle because to become more conscious of the negative energies either within or directed towards you without being fearful. So being aware, not holding that fear, but just knowing, hey, we're dealing with some heavy stuff. There is no need to fear. There is just a need to be for a more conscious, loving response. In the story of Isis, the destructive emotions of her dark brother, Set, led to the murder of her beloved Osiris. He did not stop there. He also attempted to destroy her beloved divine son-child and deny him of his rightful rulership. Set teaches us that destructive emotions can gain awful power if we leave them unchecked and do not consciously respond to them. Isis teaches us that love, faith, persistence, courage, intelligent and honest awareness can overcome even the darkest power. Your guidance is to rise above fear, anger, jealousy, or hatred within you or directed towards you now. This will require your feminine strength to be fiercely compassionate and not to judge or resist out of fear. Compassion is a great strength. It sees the truth in all situations and does not ponder to lies or deceptions in order to paint everything as nice. Compassion is wisdom. It knows that a wolf can cause harm even if it is dressed as a sheep. And that one, I have to stop there and I have to say, I do really love wolf energy. And so I think it's a great analogy. There's this idea of a wolf in sheep's clothing, and you have to be careful. But wolves also have a really loving heart. And you have to realize that a lot of what I think sometimes people like me tend to befriend sheeps and wolves. And so it's a matter of kind of still holding our own energy and really holding that space of this is my light, this is where my energy ends, and this is where you begin, and not letting that relationship and that want to hold space for someone who might be going through kind of a dark time to over influence how we feel and how we're responding and what we're kind of, opening ourselves to or closing ourselves to, being that, holding that compassion and awareness while still saying, hey, this is, I'm still in my light. So it says, okay, so compassion is, okay, so you are guided to be attentive and honest about negative influences within you or directed towards you without judging them or their source or paying undue attention with fear. You simply need recognition and then to respond with compassion and clear, loving, firm boundaries. So this is all about having firm boundaries. Really, really important reminder, really important, hey, time to take action with our boundaries. This boundary will very often be an internal shift energetically for you. It may not require any further action than this. Listen to your heart and trust your guidance. You are guided, however, to respond now and check the growth of any negativity before it becomes more consuming than it needs to be. The oracle also comes as a spiritual revelation. Part of your spiritual path is to honor the darkness as a way through a greater consciousness, to not fight against darker or potentially negative emotions with force, but allow them to be with compassion. Instantly removes the resistance that creates psychic glue and causes darker energies to get stuck within us. So really allowing those feelings, those emotions, those energies to kind of just be like water, right? So be like the water fountain and really allow them to come, but not hold them, like don't let them get stuck in you, and really be. And that's, I think, maybe why I'm wearing blue and kind of harmonizing with this blue, airy, watery energy out here, because it's a really powerful. Air and water are really good movers of energy, and they really allow us to kind of let things come and let things go. And that's what this card is all about. It's all about not letting things kind of get stuck and become heavy within our field. So trust your feminine values, whether man or woman, and don't believe for a moment that you are obliged to wear another's negativity for them. You are not. You may stand true in your purity of heart and be safe. If you do have any negative energy rising within you, the same stands true. Have compassion and witness, but don't believe that you have to identify with it. It is not you. It is just energy and feeling. Let it flow and it shall go. I love that. I always talk about that idea of this flow and go method. I love the flow and go method. The flow and go method is really what I was talking about when I said I stopped doing these readings regularly, because it became not flowy anymore. It became out of flow. And so I love the way she wrote, let it flow and it shall go. So that's another kind of rewrite of my method that I really identify with as a powerful method of handling the turbulence that life can throw at us. So the ritual healing below, so this we'll step into a ritual, and I'll read what you can do for actually healing this in the next piece, and then we'll move into our individual reading. So if you want me to pull a card for you, let me know in the comments and I'll pull a card. But basically, the ritual healing below will assist in releasing negative energies through feminine power. So we're going to do a ritual that helps us to step into our feminine power and really allow that flow and shall go energy to come through. May you enjoy your growing mastery from such energies, from a place of compassion, humility, and service to light in all beings. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring more light in with our next activity, and we're going to let the darkness just kind of float away and wash it away with the fountain energies. So, okay, so what this says is this is a ritual for healing for the brother in darkness. And so who that is that's Set. That is Set who murdered Osiris and almost murdered Isis's son, and it's her brother. So that was an important piece of the reading that, I didn't know in the beginning who that was, but now I do. And that's another reason why I got these cards, is because I felt like as I start to go into this promotion of, this trip to Egypt, I want to know more about who the oracles and who the important figures are in the energies that are going to be present there, and learn more about them through my discovery with this deck. So now we're going to do the ritual of healing the brother in darkness. So this is about really helping to heal the masculine by stepping into our divine feminine and really harmonizing those two parts of ourselves. There's divine masculine and divine feminine within each and every one of us. And so it's about trying to really transmute the light. So it says, it is helpful to light a tea candle or other candle to help you come back to the innate light in all beings, no matter how positive or negative they may appear to be, while it's doing this ritual. So first step of this ritual is get a candle. I don't have a candle, but I do have this outside light thing. So I might try to light this to see if I can get a flame going, because that's an important part of this ritual. So I got this. So I don't have a candle, but I've got something close. This is like a bug candle my mom has. don't panic, it's organic. But so I have my candle going. So that's an important part of the ritual. And I'm like, it's hard to see it because of where the camera is, but we've got our light. So it says, allow yourself to sit in a darkened space, simply lit with a candle, and close your eyes as you become comfortable, settled, and focused on your breathing. So I've got my candle. It's not a dark place out here, but I would say also if you're in a more light, bright area, that's fine too. Just, we're focusing on bringing light in. So I would say it's probably fine to be in a light area because it's like what the energy we're bringing in too. Okay, so it says we're going to work on our breathing. So take 3 deep breaths with me. Sometimes I like to hold it for a few minutes. So I go in for 4, hold it for 4, out for 4. And I feel a lot more centered just in that last really like thoughtful and conscious breath. And so we're going to go deep within our heart, and we're going to imagine or perceive that within our heart there is a golden winged goddess bathed in glorious light with her wings outstretched. So I'm going to like be in that Isis winged energy right now, and kind of we're visioning that. So we're perceiving that golden light winged goddess. And we're going to allow ourselves to be comfortable in this love. It's not forceful, but it is very powerful energy that we're kind of, being anchored by with this Isis energy. And allow yourself to become comfortable in this place, feeling like you're in a blanket of peace. So we're imagining ourselves, it's really warm here, so it's easy for me to imagine myself being enveloped in peace. But I just want you to close your eyes and kind of feel that energy of this. You are loved and you are anchored and you are being nourished and enveloped in that loving energy. Allow her to sing to you now and send her love through the sound and light within her voice, and through the light coming from her hands, feet, eyes, and feet. Know that you are completely and utterly held within her divine love. Feel it growing around you like a force field, beautiful and peaceful. You become aware of an energy hovering around this field of divine love, holding back from entering it, but curious and attracted to it. Acknowledge the presence of this other energy while it's remaining centered in your heart and in the divine field of love around you. Silently or out loud, communicate this energy you sense as you hover near the field of love, not yet willing to enter it. Tell the energy that it does not have to be afraid, and that it will not be judged, and it will not be despised or criticized, and it can just be. Staying in your heart in this field of love, you may see, sense, or perceive the energy outside your love field assume a shape or image. It might be a face, a word, the form of a dagger, a spear, or a noose. Or it may assume the form of a feeling, perhaps anger, fear, shame, guilt, sadness, or even sexual desire, or an urge to be devoted to, love, to be touched or held, or to touch and hold. It may be great fear or hatred of you. You can safely stay calm in your heart and just witness it. There may be threats or great sadness and vulnerability. Do not leave the center of your loving field. Stay there and feel the love all around you and within you. Be kindness in your heart. If the energy that has not known love is willing, it will enter the field around you and be healed, but it must make the choice for itself. So this really deals with this idea of free will. And what we're doing is we're creating a force field of energy around our body, and we're holding ourselves in that love. And we're asking the dark energy to transmute with the light and to come into our field and be healed in that experience. So we're becoming that bubble and that portal for that dark energy. Instead of this energy of taking on that energy, we're becoming the force field and the portal for transmutation within that experience. Really, really powerful visioning work. And to do this work with the goddess Isis, I mean, this is like powerful stuff we're working with here. So allow the energy to come into a deep space of love as it can by continuing to stay in your heart and being in touch with the peace and kindness that exists there. When you are ready, say, so this is an invocation. This is going to kind of seal the deal and seal the magic of this. And so when you're ready, say this out loud. It is my choice as a sovereign being of divine love that any energy not aligned with unconditional love now leave my body, mind, and energy field. It no longer has a place here with me, and I release it with unconditional love now, either that it may return to divine love now or to the body of the earth. And as it so chooses. May it not stay here. I revoke any permission I have ever given for it to be attached to me consciously or unconsciously. And with love, I let it go. Be free and go with peace. Breathe in deeply and exhale deeply. So we're really letting it go. When you are ready, say, so be it. And so it is. Aho. And that's my little extra ad there. And so it is. You know, we did that clearing and we asked that darkness to transmute with our light and released it from its entrapment, basically. Don't come out of this space immediately, even with your eyes open. Be aware of the field of love around you, even as you bring awareness to your physical world once more. Let love be with you now, even as you move your body and return to your daily life. And so this is the final piece of this. We're going to say an incantation. And that's what I really like about this particular deck. It has incantations, which not very many of my other decks actually have this element. And so it's a special kind of rhyme. And I really like that about this new deck. So we're going to say this incantation to clear any negative energy at the beginning of the ritual above, or at any time that you feel the pulling of fear, doubt, shame, anger, guilt, terror, despair within you or around you. Go into your heart and speak it clearly. And so for those of you watching live, maybe rewind this after it's over so that way you can kind of get a feel for saying this in that kind of clear, flowy space. Because I'm just going to say it once. So yeah, you might want to revisit the incantation, because that's the invocation and incantations are, I think, the most powerful pieces of, it's kind of how you anchor in the work and really, you know, that when it comes from your voice, you're really declaring it and you're casting that spell. So, brother in darkness, you are loved fiercely and with compassion. There is nothing to fear or judge or resist, just acceptance, allowance, and being seen. From the light in my heart now, I see you. I do not judge. My response is compassion. I understand and release you now. Be and flow. But from my energy field, you must now go. Without will or force, but through love and peace, all negativity from my field is now released. And I love how she does these really beautiful rhymes with these incantations. So that is it for today's Isis reading, but I am going to pull some individual cards. So if you're still watching, let me know you want me to pull a card for you now. I'll start, and it looks like I've got Alicia on. So I'll pull your card first, and then anyone else who might want one. But yeah, powerful work. And I will post in my story today's card. So I've got another person saying, yes, please make sure to let me know if you're watching that you want me to pull your card by telling me your name. Because if you're watching on a group, it doesn't show me your name. So, all right. And the cards I'm pulling for individuals today are my new Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck. And I bought the Gods and Goddesses at the same time as the Isis deck. So these are brand new, and I've really enjoyed working with these so far. They have a little bit of this kind of goddess energy and this magical energy mixed with some angels that kind of we all know and love, and just really cool. This new deck is by Tony Carmen Salerno, and it's got just 45 beautiful cards, and she's a best-selling author of Angelic Inspirations and the Gaia Oracle. So some of you might be familiar with her. And perfect. Alicia. So the Isis deck, she's asking about the Isis deck. So this is Alana Fairchild's Isis Oracle. And I was researching all of her different work, actually, because I love her. She's one of my favorite, spiritual teachers with a lot of different, she's got a lot of different books and cards and and she's got apps online. So if you don't have, if you don't want to order a physical deck, you can download, she's got several different applications you can download, and it would give you a virtual reading. I think I have her 333 Oracle app. So today we're going to pull for you, Elisa, we're going to pull an angels, gods, and goddesses, and we're going to see what they have for you. And with this deck, we're going to do 3 cuts. So we'll pull 1, 2, 3, and we're going to see what number I'm going to get here. I'm actually getting to pull 2 cards for you here. So this is what we're getting for you. Card number 1, Angel of Psychic Ability. It says, your intuitive and psychic abilities are strong at the present. So that makes sense, because here you are with me, and you're working with me. And so you clearly got a message to show up today, so that way you could receive this guidance. And I was actually just noticing as I got close, I was like, oh, look, her rainbow kind of matches my rainbow glasses. So we'll dive deeper into this card in just a moment, but I'm getting that we actually pulled 2 cards for you. So we also got the Goddess of the Sacred Path, and it says, let go of logic and trust your intuition. So 2 really amazing, powerful cards for you. Angel of Psychic Ability and Goddess of the Sacred Path. And what's cool about these cards is they're great in terms of their position, because it's kind of like opening you up to this idea that you do have psychic abilities. And then the Goddess of the Sacred Path is kind of reminding you, hey, you've got this sacred innate wisdom that you are, needing to be kind of aware of, and you're on a sacred journey right now. So because when you're opening yourself to any kind of psychic abilities, I think that's a sacred work for sure. So okay, so we're going to go in and we're going to do a little bit of a deeper reading. And so here's what the Angel of Psychic Ability says. Your intuitive and psychic abilities are very strong at the present, and this gives you the ability to see through things. You are being urged to pay particular attention to what you sense and feel, rather than what you are told or shown. Trust your instincts when you are around particular people or situations. You will instinctively know what is right for you, regardless of the statistics or how professionally it is presented. If something doesn't feel right for you, it's not. So just recognize that, follow your instincts. If something feels off, make sure to be hyper aware of that right now. And then let's see what the Goddess of the Sacred Path has for you. Interesting. It's here we go. Okay, so it says, let go of logic. So this is this one. Let go of logic and trust your feelings. At this time, it is important to let go of what you think is logical and trust your feelings. What is it that you would truly love to do or experience at this point in your life? Imagine. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not your mind. This is because your heart holds your true essence. It is the gateway to your soul, whereas the mind dwells more within fears, which often prevent us from unfulfilling our true potential. All is possible when what you choose to do and experience aligns with your heartfelt purpose and dreams. Trust your feelings. Start to keep a journal in which you express and explore all it is that you would truly love to be, have, and do in life. Do this lovingly and honestly, and you will be gently guided along your path. So, important reminder to do our journaling work. I'm going to pull out my journal. I've got my magic journal. So do some journaling today about what you would like to create in your life. Do some visioning. And if you're having trouble doing a big vision, sometimes we get stumped when we try to like plan our whole lives out. I would just start with a 1 month vision. I've noticed that doing a 1 month, so it's like, what do I want for the month of June? What do I want for the month of July? And do that at the beginning of the month. A yogi friend of mine reminded me that we can do this monthly visioning, and sometimes breaking it down and just trying to work with manifesting what we want for that month can be easier than trying to plan out, 5 years and 10 years of our lives, because honestly, what I wanted 10 years ago is not what I want today. And what I wanted even last year has changed. And so if you're like me and really resonate with that kind of flow and go with the vibe of the day energy, it can be challenging to plan our vision for 10 years down the road. So start with taking it one day or 1 month at a time. And that's my recommendation. And always when doing manifestation or visioning practices, it's important to write as if it's already here. So instead of writing, I really want to win $1 million, you write, I'm so happy to have won $1 million, like as if it's already here now. That's a very important key piece to actually creating that law of attraction, magnetizing energy that will allow you to immediately align with what you're really wanting in that vibration of what you're really wanting, and visualize the feeling of what it will feel like once you have aligned with that energy as if it's here right now. So why do you want that thing? Because it will make me feel good. Well, why will it make you feel good? What will you feel? So that's the important thing with visioning and manifestation. And so, and she's saying, everything resonates so much. It's crazy. Thank you. I will do that monthly thing. And if it helps, I'll do it for the next 5 years. So, I love that you've been tuning in today. It's been really wonderful to have, you following along. And I'm going to pull a card for myself now. I don't think we have anyone else watching at the moment. So it's just us. And I'm like, I need a card for myself before we close out for today. And we're perfectly aligned with my timing because I have another meeting and got to move on now. But this was really powerful for me. I feel like that invocation that we just did, I feel like, we moved into this new space and this new energy with kind of a clean and fresh start. So I'm bringing that clarity into my personal reading right now. And I'm going to do my 3 cuts. And my feather just started flying away. Be like a feather as you move into the rest of your day. So that was my 3. And let's see what I'm getting. Ooh, perfect for me right today. The goddess of the earth. And it says, an idea connected to imagination, creativity, and nature is coming your way. And I love this energy because it really helps. It's exactly the energies I'm working with. Like, I feel like even the colors, I'm wearing this blue. I feel like I wanted to be outside today because I wanted to be close to nature and close to the earth. I'm from Austin. And so when I'm here, I just feel this like earthy lake energy. I feel like I go back to kind of my roots, literally. And so it's great that I pulled something with a tree because I'm here back resonating with my root energy. And so I'm going to read what this card is all about, and then I'm going to say goodbye. So I'm sad to go, but I've got to move on with I've got a very busy day today, but lots of fun and exciting things coming your way. So an idea connected to imagination, creativity, and nature is coming for me. And it says, the energy of Gaia, the spiritual goddess of the earth, is strong and fertile within you at the present. She reflects the fertile ground of your imagination and the infinite power of creativity that you possess. This is a good time to use your imagination and express yourself creatively. Keep an open heart and mind. You will receive an idea over the coming days or weeks that will lead you to an abundant and fulfilling way of life. The idea is somehow connected to imagination, creativity, and nature. Over the next coming days, it will be beneficial to relax, spend some time in nature, and absorb her healing and fertile energies. Gaia will help you to ground and to keep you balanced. In the near future, she will inspire an idea you devise indigenous ways to market my idea. So that's so amazing. And I love that we just pulled that card. I can hear a bird chirping, and I saw a hummingbird earlier today. And so it's a great reminder that while I'm here in Austin, that it's important for me to kind of get back down to my roots, lay on the ground at the lake, maybe go to some beautiful spring here in Central Texas. We have some wonderful cold. Barton Springs is one of my favorite places to go in the summer. And we've got some beautiful spring pools like Hamilton Pool. So maybe I'll go on a little retreat this week while I'm here and get back down to the roots of the Gaia and really do some prayer and meditation in nature. So I'm wishing you all a beautiful and wonderful rest of your week. And I look forward to connecting more with you very soon. Thank you and namaste. Much love and aloha. Have a happy rest of your week. And please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in more information on the trip to Egypt. I'm really excited to be continuing to work on that with Anastara Maka, and she will be going live later on today too. And you can tune in at 1 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Mountain, and 3 o'clock Central Time. We will be doing a live stream where we're introducing this year's theme for 11/11. The virtual event we're doing this year, and the trip to Egypt will be happening next year. So stay tuned, much more magic to come, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.